Hey everyone, welcome back. Today, we're going to be doing a deep dive into this idea of self-love
Okay.
and how it can really impact our
Yeah,
relationships.
yeah.
We're looking at this excerpt called The Primacy of Self-Love.
Right?
And it just got me thinking, can you truly love someone else without loving yourself first?
It's a question, right? Like, it's a question that people have been thinking about for centuries.
Yeah,
Philosophers, poets, you name it.
totally.
But what's really cool about this excerpt is how it comes at self-love. It's
Yeah.
not about, bubble baths and face masks and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's really about this deep-rooted acceptance and appreciation of yourself.
I love how they say deep-rooted acceptance. It's not
Yeah.
like a destination.
Right.
It's like this journey,
Yeah.
like growing a really strong tree.
It is. It's like a journey, and like any journey, it's going to have its own challenges and I guess like markers along the way, like milestones.
Yeah.
And one of the first ones that we run into, I think, is this idea of setting boundaries.
Ooh, boundaries.
Yeah.
That's something I struggle with.
Yeah.
What does that even look like when it comes to self-love?
Well, yeah, I mean, like, is it just saying no all the time?
Right.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
But I think it's about understanding what your needs are, like where your limits are,
Mm-hmm.
and then, being able to communicate those things
Yeah.
to people
Okay.
clearly and respectfully.
Gotcha.
Have you ever felt like you've had to say yes to something
Oh, yeah.
when you really wanted to say no?
All the time.
Like maybe it was an extra project at work or,
Oh, yes.
or helping a friend move when you're exhausted.
Been there.
Right. And in those moments, I think self-love is what gives you that power to say, you know what? No, this is not selfish. This is self-preservation.
Mm.
It's about honoring yourself, like your own well-being,
Yeah.
so that you can then show up authentically in your relationship.
So it's about protecting your energy so you're not spread too thin.
Yeah.
But I don't know, doesn't that kind of go against the idea of being loving and supportive?
Well, and that's where it gets really interesting, because what this excerpt is saying is that if we don't have that self-love,
Yeah.
we tend to look for validation from other people
Mm.
to fill that void inside of us.
Yeah.
And we get so caught up in what other people think of us that
Right.
we're always seeking that reassurance to make us feel worthy.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I've totally seen that
Have you?
in my own life, and it's like it never leads to healthy relationships.
Right.
It's like one person's always looking for approval,
Right.
and the other person's burdened by it.
Yeah. And it can lead to all sorts of bad behaviors, people pleasing,
Mm-hmm.
sacrificing your own needs, even like tolerating disrespect just to get that validation from somebody else.
It's almost like you're trying to build a house on sand.
Yeah.
Without that foundation, the whole thing's unstable.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's where the excerpt makes this connection, right?
Yeah.
It's saying that self-love, it acts like a magnet
Okay.
for a healthier relationship.
So wait, so by loving ourselves, we attract people who will also love and respect us?
Yeah.
That sounds too good to be true.
I mean, it's not magic,
Okay.
but I think it's about energy.
Okay.
When you value yourself,
Yeah.
you're setting a standard, right,
Right.
for how other people are going to treat you.
Gotcha.
You're not going to put up with
Right.
disrespect or, scraps of affection, and that confidence
Mhm.
that you have, it's attractive.
Yeah, it makes me think about those couples you see, or
Yeah.
friendships where it's like, you can just tell there's mutual respect there.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's the self-love that they both have.
I think it's a big part of it.
Yeah.
When you're secure in yourself,
Mm-hmm.
you don't come to the relationship needy.
Right.
You're not looking for somebody to complete you.
You're looking for somebody to share life with.
Yeah, it's a good distinction.
Yeah.
So
It's not
about filling a void, it's about
Mhm.
two whole people
Yeah,
coming together.
exactly.
Yeah.
And that brings us to another really interesting point.
Okay.
The role of forgiveness
Ooh.
and compassion
Mhm.
in self-love.
Okay.
We all mess up.
For sure.
We all have moments we're not proud of,
Yeah.
but it's how we handle those imperfections
Yeah.
that really plays a big part in how we love ourselves and other people.
So unpack that a bit for me.
Yeah.
How does self-love help us when we mess up?
So let me ask you this. When you make a mistake,
Uh-huh.
do you beat yourself up over it?
Oh, all the time.
Like for days,
Yes.
you just replay it in your head.
I'm my own worst critic.
Well, that's where self-compassion comes in,
Okay.
right? It's about treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would like a good friend.
Yeah.
It's about acknowledging, okay, I made a mistake,
Mm.
learning from it, but then moving on without carrying around all that shame and judgment.
So it's about allowing ourselves to be human,
Yes.
flaws and all.
Exactly. And that
Man.
self-compassion, it extends outward.
How so?
When we learn to forgive ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
we become more forgiving of other people.
Oh, interesting.
We see that everybody makes mistakes. We're
Yeah.
more understanding.
Yeah.
We're more patient in our relationships.
That's really powerful.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder, like, if self-love is so important for healthy relationships,
Mm-hmm.
is it possible to go too far?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Like, can you focus too much on yourself and it becomes selfish? It's a common misconception.
Yeah.
But the excerpt talks about this directly.
Okay.
It says that self-love isn't about becoming self-absorbed
Right.
or neglecting other people.
Okay, so how do you balance those two things?
Right.
Like, how do you prioritize your own well-being while also, being there for the people you love?
Well, think of it like this. Okay.
You can't pour from an empty cup?
Ooh, I like that.
Right.
If you run on empty, you got nothing to give.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So self-love is about filling your own cup first,
Okay.
so you have something to offer to other people.
Makes sense.
And it's realizing that taking care of yourself
Mhm.
isn't selfish.
Right.
It's self-preservation,
Yeah.
which is essential for genuine connection.
It's like, on the airplane, they
Yeah.
say, put on your oxygen mask first
Exactly.
before helping others.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah. You can't help anybody if you can't breathe.
Right.
Yeah.
And so when you prioritize your own well-being,
Mm-hmm.
you're better equipped to be there for the people you love,
Makes sense.
to offer them real love and support.
So I guess we're back to that original question then.
Yeah.
Can you truly love someone else
Right.
without loving yourself first?
Well, based on what we've been talking about
Mm-hmm.
and what this excerpt is saying,
Yeah.
it seems like the answer is no.
That self-love really is the foundation
Mm-hmm.
of healthy relationships, both with ourselves and with other people.
So this isn't just about romantic relationships then?
No, not at all.
Okay.
This applies to, your friendships, your family,
Gotcha.
colleagues, everybody.
Yeah.
Self-love just helps us navigate all of those interactions
Right.
with more clarity,
Yeah.
more compassion, more confidence.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And I think what's so interesting is how the excerpt frames this as like an ongoing journey. Like,
yeah.
it kind of takes the pressure off.
Yeah.
You don't have to be perfect all the time.
Right.
It's about the small choices we make every day
Yeah, those little things.
to nurture ourselves
Mhm.
and grow that acceptance muscle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not about reaching some perfect level of self-love.
Right.
It's about just the effort that we make
Okay.
to be kind to ourselves,
Yeah.
to learn from our mistakes,
Mhm.
and to choose growth over, just staying stuck.
Right.
Yeah,
So forgiveness seems to play a big role in that.
it does.
But I'm a little confused.
Okay.
Like, how does forgiving ourselves
Yeah.
actually make us more forgiving of others?
Okay, well, that's a great question.
Yeah.
And I think that leads us into an even deeper
Okay.
look at this whole thing.
Let's
Maybe
do
we
it.
could use a real life example
Okay.
to illustrate
Yeah.
this connection.
I'm all ears.
So, okay, imagine this.
Okay.
Your friend forgets your birthday.
Ouch.
Right. Now, if you're someone who has a hard time forgiving yourself,
Mm-hmm.
if you're always dwelling on your own mistakes,
Yeah.
you might end up doing the same thing to your friend.
Oh, like projecting that onto them.
Yeah, exactly.
well-
You'd be like, "Oh, they don't care enough."
Right.
Or they did this on purpose to hurt me.
I could see that.
Right.
Like, we judge others by how we judge ourselves.
Exactly.
Right.
But if you've learned to be kind to yourself, if you've learned to forgive yourself for messing up,
Yeah.
you're more likely to give your friend the benefit of the doubt.
Right. Like, they're human.
Yeah.
They made a mistake.
Everybody makes mistakes.
And I mean, they don't care.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
So it's by practicing self-forgiveness,
Yeah.
we're building up this muscle
Yeah.
of understanding and empathy
Mm-hmm.
that we can then use in all our relationships.
So it's not just about us. It's about how we treat everyone else.
Exactly.
Wow. That's really powerful.
Yeah.
It makes me think about all the times I've held grudges
Hmm.
or just struggled to let go of things.
Yeah.
Maybe if I had more self-love,
Yeah.
I could have healed from those things faster.
It's not always easy,
Right.
but it's so freeing when you realize that everyone's on their own journey.
Yeah.
Everyone makes mistakes.
And that's okay.
Exactly.
So is that what real connection is all about?
What do you mean?
Like accepting each other's imperfections and loving each other through them.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it.
And that starts with ourselves.
It does.
Yeah.
It all starts with us.
Okay, so we're wrapping up this deep dive
Right.
into self-love and relationships.
It's been great.
What's like the one thing you hope listeners take away from this?
I think the biggest thing is
Yeah.
self-love is not a luxury.
Okay.
It's not something you do if you have extra time.
Right.
It's necessity.
Gotcha.
It's the foundation
Yeah.
for healthy relationships
Mhm.
with yourself and with everyone else.
It makes you think differently about it.
Yeah, it does.
So if we're all on this self-love journey,
Right.
what's one small step
Yeah.
that someone listening can take today?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Like to nurture their well-being?
I think just asking yourself, what can I do to be kind to myself today?
I like that.
Like just one small thing.
It doesn't have to be huge.
No, not at all.
It's something for you.
Yeah, exactly.
And those little things add up.
They do over time.
Absolutely. It
Yeah.
can make a big difference.
This has been so eye-opening.
Yeah, it's been great talking about this.
Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
To everyone listening, we hope you keep exploring these ideas
Yeah,
and discover just how powerful self-love can be.
absolutely.
We'll see you next time for another deep dive.
Sounds good.
So, we've been talking about all these things we can do to, cultivate self-love.
Yeah.
And I'm realizing it's not just about adding more to our to-do list.
Right. It's not about doing all the things perfectly.
Exactly.
Not about that.
Yeah, it's more of a mindset shift.
Yeah, I think
Like a
that's-
willingness to see ourselves in a more, loving way.
Yeah, a more compassionate way.
Yeah.
Like remembering that we're worthy of love and care.
Exactly.
Just as we are.
Imperfect and all.
Yeah, all the messiness and everything.
And that's tough, right? Because, the world tells us we need to fix ourselves.
All the time. Like, strive for more. Be better.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, so it's like we have to unlearn that.
We do. It's a process.
And remember that we are worthy.
Exactly.
And it can be so powerful.
It is. It's like you're shedding those layers of, self-doubt.
Right.
And you're finally seeing, the real you.
That authentic self.
Yeah, that's always been there.
And then when that happens, it's like your connections
Yeah.
get deeper, right? With yourself and with others.
It's like you're tuning in to a different frequency.
Total.
One that's just
Yeah.
all about self-love and being real.
And that, I feel like that can be contagious.
It can. It really can.
Like it inspires other people to do the same.
It's like a ripple effect
Yeah.
that spreads out and makes the world a little bit better.
More loving, more compassionate.
Exactly.
And I think that's what this whole deep dive
Yeah.
has been about, Like exploring how self-love can change things.
It's powerful stuff.
Not just in our own lives, but
But in the world,
in the world around us.
it's pretty amazing.
And it's not selfish. It's necessary.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's the foundation.
For everything. For everything. Yeah.
Our boundaries, our connections.
How we live our lives.
If we don't have that,
Yeah.
the rest of it just,
It crumbles, doesn't it?
it's like the base of the pyramid.
It is. It's the base.
Yeah.
You got to start there.
And it's a journey that anyone can go on.
Absolutely. Anyone.
Doesn't matter where you're at in life.
Nope. It's always a good time to start.
So I guess as we wrap up,
Yeah.
one final thought for everyone listening.
Okay. I like it.
If self-love is this journey, like we've been saying,
Mm-hmm.
what's one tiny step you can take today
Yeah.
to move a little closer to that?
What's one thing you can do to be kind to yourself today?
Hmm.
It doesn't have to be big, right?
No, just something small.
Just a little something
Yeah.
that shows you care. Because even those little things, like we said,
They add up.
yeah, they make a difference.
They really do.
And they can change your life.
And the lives of the people around you,
This has been such an incredible conversation.
it really has.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And to everyone listening, thank you for joining us.
Keep exploring, keep growing,
Keep loving yourself.
one step at a time.
We'll see you next time for another deep dive into, well, who knows what.
Until then.
Take care, everyone.